Oulton Park is a circuit. It's probably one of the driver's favourite circuits. Fast, flowing. I love how close the barriers are. Everything feels quick.
I love Oulton Park. As a track, it's probably my top two. Oulton Park and Knockhill for me are the most fun.
If you are on the edge around here, you will be at the front.
I've been here in a GT car before and it was a little bit too narrow, a bit of a roller coaster. In a touring car, it's pretty perfect, I think.
You drive in and the track is almost like encased in the big, long, tall trees. Like it feels different.
Really looking forward to it. And look, we're here to put on a show and have fun at the end of the day. And this is a place that it's easy to have fun around.
To say I'm looking forward to Oulton Park is a damn understatement. The stands will be jam-packed, the fans will be out in their thousands. And I think we can put on a really good show.
Here we are at Spa-Francorchamps, the world-famous Formula One circuit, hidden in the hills of Belgium. A Spa 6-hour historic race meeting, everything from Formula One cars, GT cars, single-seaters, Formula 2, pre-war cars. Probably one of the best events on the calendar within motorsport. I'm here because I've been invited by Richard Mines, who I do a lot of historic motorsport with, to race his incredible GT40 in the 6 hours of Spa. We've qualified 8th on the grid, we think. We still don't have a starting grid yet, but we've qualified 8th. So obviously Spa 6 hour, completely different to modern day touring car racing. It's a 6-hour race to start with 3 drivers in the car. The car itself, completely different. Mid-engined, rear-wheel drive, 500 horsepower. Manual gearbox, you have to use the clutch for every gear change. Completely different tyres, completely different brakes. It's like really raw motorsport from back in the 60s. So let's see how we go.
It's a lovely, lovely car, isn't it? Just brilliant. Hey! All right, good luck, mate. So we're an hour and a half in, and unfortunately Richard's he had a problem on the first lap. I don't know if he was had some contact or whether he went off. But I mean, he dropped to about 70th place. We're back up to 16th, which is good. Lap times look very good. But yeah, with some work to do, but a long way to go. 4.5 hours to go yet. Yeah, we had a really strong finish, which was good. I never thought we'd get back to the top 10. So to get to the top 10 is really good. I'm really pleased with that. It's completely different to touring cars. You couldn't get more removed from touring cars. You know, the touring cars do 3 races in a day. It's fast, it's mad, it's crazy. With this, it's a battle over 6 hours of attrition, of fuel saving, of looking after the tyres, the brakes, the gearboxes, the lights. And trying as a driver to keep your emotions under control, because you want your teammates to do well, you want to finish strong. And of course you got the mechanics. These guys have been prepping these cars for the last month, non-stop, to get these cars to the finish. So yeah, it's tough. It's completely different to touring cars, but just as much fun and just as rewarding.
So goals for the weekend: Q3, top 6, have a podium, and you know, win a race where we can. Those are the goals.
My goals for the weekend is to be the very best of myself. And I know if I'm at my very best, we have a chance to win. But once I give it my all, I feel like I have a really good chance.
Yeah, so I'm Jack, I'm Andrew Watson's race engineer. On a race weekend, so I'm in charge of the overall car setup, tyre selection, tyre pressures, and sort of controlling the crew and making sure Andrew's feedback makes it onto the car. It's my first year with Andrew. Yeah, he's great, really good to work with, really easy going. Surprisingly quite calm. He has flashes of hot-headed. Luckily, his Irish accent takes over then, and I don't know what he's called me. But yeah, generally super chilled, super calm. I think the key to a good weekend here is qualifying. It's quite a hard track to overtake, so I think we need to throw everything that we've got at it on Saturday, make sure we've got a great grid spot, and then go from there.
So the team's now getting themselves ready for Q1. Green flag showed at the end of the pit lane, and so Q1, Group 1 is underway. Right, so the pit lane opens, and in glorious conditions. And on a day like this, Oulton Park just looks fantastic. And Robotham goes quickest into the 24s, 1:24.6. He's only a tenth shy, except he loses the lap time for track limits. That's the other thing they've got to be careful of.
Yeah, and the problem is, oh, big slide, just caught the end of it.
So this ought to put the Toyota Corolla at the top of the times. He's run out of hybrid as Huffy for this lap. The World Touring Car Champion breaks the beam, and at the end of that lap is still shown only as third. So the Northern Irish driver needs to improve on this lap, because he, Sam Osborne, Scott Sumpton and Ronan Pearson are out. Pearson's just improved to 8th. Watson goes through and is still 7th. That's on the bubble is Aaron Taylor-Smith, and Taylor-Smith has got 0.145 of a second over the opposition. Aaron Taylor-Smith, 6th fastest, coming out of Cascade. He was already there, and the last lap that he did was slightly slower. Pressure now is on Watson, Pearson, Osborne, Sumpton to try to find thousandths of a second that might just get them in. But Robotham, Sutton, Morgan, Huff, Turkington, Taylor-Smith look set to go through. Checkered flag away. Andrew Watson's had another lap time taken off into track limits, and so too has Rob. Huff over the line. Sutton is quickest. He's gone fastest of all on the 1:24.486. Big frustration here though for Andrew Watson at Toyota Gazoo Racing UK's home circuit. Comes down the pit lane, and the expression in the car rather says it all, doesn't it? Not a happy man at all.
So when things don't go well, I think it's best just not dwelling on it. You sort of take the learnings, put them into practice moving forwards, and move on to the next one. I think that's the great thing about touring cars, is because there's 3 races in a day, and the race weekends are very closely stacked. It's great for like a mental reset and to just move on to the next one. I think it's been difficult this year with the tyres. There's multiple tyre compounds at every event, different hybrid configurations depending on where you finished. The weather's been pretty tricky as well. It's been a lot of mixed conditions, wet, dry, wet. So I think, yeah, just trying to pull it all together at the right time.
Ash Sutton's lap puts him top, a 1:24.582 with only a second a lap of hybrid. Camish now quicker, a 24.530, 52 thousandths quicker, and Robotham goes third. Camish had a lap taken off him, in fact. Sutton's had a lap taken off him. Ingram goes fastest, 1:24.1. So Ingram, Sutton, Camish, Chilton, Robotham, Morgan is the order.
Okay, so qualifying done here in Oulton Park, and yeah, I didn't think there was that much more time in the tank, so I think all 4 Toyotas have done a time within a tenth, so I think that's about what we got, but I unfortunately just missed out by a couple of hundredths, so we've made it out of Q1 every time this year, so yeah, it's tough, it's super tight, so yeah, I'm not totally distraught. It'd obviously be nice to get through to Q2 and 3, but you know, I felt like I drove pretty well. Didn't maybe get the most out of it in the first lap, just cautious of track limits and stuff, but other than that, you know, I did pretty much everything I wanted to do, so I hope I'll be watching this back and say, if only you knew. So yeah, let's see what tomorrow brings.
Probably a very strong Saturday for me, to be perfectly honest. We always knew that the car and chassis suits this type of track. It's high speed, it kind of flows into my style. So free practice 1, we were quickest. Free practice 2, we were 3rd. Probably the ambient goes up a little bit, and not to be too technical and make loads of excuses, because I'm sure I could have driven better. Once it gets hot, our 1 lap pace slightly drops away, but at the same time, to line up 8th in race 1, I feel like we actually have a really good chance.
My name is Martin Broadhurst. I'm the team manager and technical director for PowerMax Racing, and then on a race weekend I'm also Aaron's race engineer. We're at the halfway point of the season now. The first half has been a challenge, if I'm honest. We came off the back of last season thinking or expecting that we'd be slightly higher placed at the moment. The field's massively tight. All the drivers are capable of a result. Everybody has to dig deep and do what you can. My job comes with a lot of challenges and a lot of responsibility, so always dealing with people is a challenge in itself. Managing the cars and the drivers is always a challenge, because drivers are drivers. We do have a good relationship between all of us. That, like I say, there's plenty of layers in the team that people pick things up, and I think that Oulton in general is a tricky circuit and challenging. It's bumpy, it's tight, narrow. The drivers can't be scared of the place. You know, you need to take the bull by the horns and do what you can. Yeah, it's a tough place, but you know, we're up for the fight this weekend.
Gorgeous Oulton Park sunshine. We're about to start the day's racing with round 13 of the kwikfit British Touring Car Championship. A fascinating grid and some interesting tyre strategies as well.
Nice and square in the box. Count your markers.
The last few cars, Andrew Watson, for example, here lining up in position at the top of Deer Leap. The 5-second board then is shown. Round 13 of the kwikfit British Touring Car Championship. 15 laps ahead of us is Go. Ash Sutton may have crept ever so slightly, but it's a good getaway. And Colin Turkington is stranded on the grid. He didn't get away well on the green flag lap, and the BMW has yet to move. So Colin Turkington is in real strife as Ingram leads Sutton and Camish third, Chilton fourth as they drop down the Cascades for the first time.
Don't be silly, Aidan. Don't be silly, Aidan.
He found some room to get through and braved around the outside at turn 1.
Ooh. And that's Aidan Moffat leaning on Rob Huff.
Rob's been very kind there.
It is Ingram up front, but Ash Sutton going after him and thinking about maybe a move on the inside. Feints to the inside, tries to unsettle Ingram. Good luck with that. Ingram will lead at the end of lap 1. It is Ingram versus Sutton. We've not had that many toe-to-toe battles between these two this year, but this could be one of them. It's been eagerly anticipated, and look at Sutton go!
He's absolutely on it. These two absolutely at the top of their game. Ruffling up as a very late send into the side of Ingram. There's a little bit of push and shove.
And he's got the line for Hislops. That's the key to this. Ingram's got his nose in front. He tries to move across. They lean on each other again. Ingram gets fired sideways. Another chicane he has to skip because of contact. It's like Fruxton all over again.
We were ahead and he hit us. They're the rules. They told us yesterday.
Second penalty for a false start. We're going to add it on at the end.
A time penalty for Andrew Watson of 5 seconds for a full start. Andrew Watson's Toyota.
There's been 2 warnings, but neither are for you or Ash.
The best best of those on the hard tyre. Aaron Taylor-Smith in 8th place. So you were right, we've got the cars all at the front on soft, and then the hard race being led by Aaron Taylor-Smith.
Keep your head, let's go forward.
10 to go, mate. You are quicker than the guys ahead of you. Pace is good.
Over the brow, Ray Hill here, and a big send by Andrew Watson, goes ahead of Mikey Doble. Back was really brave on the way towards Druids. Nice move, Andrew Watson. Through he goes, up to now 12 on the road.
Great job, mate. Great job. We've got a 5-second penalty. We need to push now. We need to push and increase the gap to the cars behind.
Last lap.
He's built that gap and a really consummate drive. Tom Ingram takes career win 30 at Oulton Park. He wins race 1 of the day. Sutton is second, and then with a huge question mark hanging over it, 4th over the line, Dan Rowbottom.
Good job, good job. A8. Could be a promotion to P7. Robo should have stopped.
Awesome job, mate. Well done. That was tough. P15 at the line with the penalty included. Well done, mate.
I'm biased again, but I thought you were ahead and you made contact, which is the 2 criteria that we heard about last week. So I don't know, we both scored points, no one had a DNF, so...
Exactly.
Well done, mate. Good race as well, wasn't it? Yeah.
Well done, boy.
He could only get a bit back on us when he was using hybrid.
Yeah, that's it.
The rest of it, like...
I felt like we had really good pace, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, normally, cards are Achilles heel, so to be getting amongst it, I think was alright.
Mike, you should be chuffed a bit for that.
Yeah,
You know, when he's running around 27, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And fine.
Yeah.
Now drops 27,
Yeah.
and they like pushed on hard, then we're back in there.
Yeah.
So if you can just utilise at the beginning and and then get into a river.
Yeah.
Race 1, obviously we struggled a little bit in qualifying yesterday, made some fairly significant changes overnight. Pace seemed good throughout the race, unfortunately just picked up a 5-second penalty for out of position on the start. Dropped us down to I think 15th, should have been 12th. Pace was strong throughout the race, really good at the end, half a second quicker than the guys ahead of us. Yeah, got rid of the hard tyre as well, now onto the soft for the next one.
The hardest part of what I do is balancing other people's emotions. That's the truth of it. Like when I look into the garage on race day morning or whatever it may be from my garage door and I see 100 odd people, you can't let their emotion, their nerves, their anticipation of what the day will be rein in on you. For this weekend, yeah, we have 200 odd guests coming. And this is where I would say the team around me make the big difference. So Lauren, my wife, who everyone will see around the paddock, is the unsung hero of me, of what I do. If she wasn't here, there's no way I could be doing this. And I kind of operate on the approach that everything is going to be fine until it's not fine. So there's no point stressing about it until it's not fine. And that's why Lauren makes sure everything does stay fine, where I can just live in this la-la land.
Come on, boy, let's see what we got here, eh?
The grid is formed then, and we are getting set for our second 15-lap race of the day.
Hot in the sun.
Yeah.
I just escaped the shade.
Usually I'm trying to get a tan, but
Not now, yeah.
no. Last car's just getting into position now.
The lights in a moment will go red, and then we'll see who's going to make the best launch as the lights go out. Good getaway by Ingram. Good start by Jake Hill to jump up alongside Adam Morgan on the way down towards Old Hall Corner. For the first time of asking, good getaway by Aaron Taylor-Smith. Looks squeezing up the inside, contact with Morgan. It gets crossed up. Cook got round the outside, and there's mayhem breaking out. Huff goes off the road. The casualty is Adam Morgan, who's facing the wrong way. Everybody else was able to swerve round him. Taylor-Smith, I fear, lost a big chunk of time in all of that, whereas Josh Cook went round the outside and survived it.
And just put an eye over pit wall, make sure I haven't picked up any front end damage.
Poor old Adam Morgan, just first corner punching. Oh,
Cook's with them already because he got round the outside, so he's in that pack already. It is Ingram, it's Sutton, it's Camish, but look at Cook, he might lead at the end of the first lap. This is an absolute dynamite first lap from Josh Cook.
but remember, he had that slightly colder tyre on as well. He'd be mad to put up a fight against Cook. And Cook is through.
What a lap then, 8th on the grid.
And side by side, we've got Sutton and Ingram as they come down to Cascades. Ingram's got the inside. This is just the sort of dicing that helps the guys at the back catch up.
So Rowbottom 7th is in jeopardy, just as those ahead are, as they come down now into Lodge Corner. Taylor Smith right up with Hill, but he's not finding it easy to get through.
No, but Hill and Camish fighting is going to be an opportunity sooner or later, I should think, for Aaron Taylor Smith.
10 to go, mate, 10 to go. Turn your lights off when you get a chance.
Aaron Taylor Smith in 6th is the one to watch, though, as you look back now from Jake Hill's BMW, because he's the next of those on the soft. But again, come back to this perennial problem here that it's hard to overtake. He's on the quicker tyre, but he can't make progress. Place there's Smiley going through, and a big send up the inside from Andrew Watson, who clatters into Dan Rowbottom's Ford and opens the door for Colin Turkington, who now can make some progress because Watson delayed himself, and Colin Turkington is through by the end of the lap.
He's now looking, down the inside. There's a move there on Jake Hill from Aaron Taylor Smith. He hasn't completed the move yet until they get to Island. Hill's fighting back, half on the road, half on the grass.
But Aaron Taylor Smith is going to be ahead. Can he get the line for the corner? No. Jake Hill back on the inside, but finally Aaron Taylor Smith found a way of getting alongside, but he can't complete the move, so he's no better off. Now Sutton with the damage. Look, Ash Sutton has got a repeat of what Dan Rowbottom had in the first race. Now, consistency and all of that, he should get a black and orange.
He got to pit.
Yes. Black and orange is dangerous one for this.
But Rowbottom didn't in the last race.
Well, the team will know exactly what has to happen. There, the black and orange flag is being shown to Ash Sutton. They've been in this position once with Dan Rowbottom. Now, which is worse, pitting and losing track position, or getting to the end and copping a 30-second penalty?
Now, try and make a call straight away.
Now, is this Sutton about to come into the... they're trying to knock it off. The teammates are trying to knock it off.
Didn't work, and Jake Hill's gone by as well.
5 to go, 5 to go.
In comes Sutton. It didn't work in terms of getting Camish to dislodge it, but he's in anyway. So there it is, you can see where the gap is, and the bodywork is ripped away. So the Powermax Astras now are 5th and 6th.
First track limits warning, 2 laps to go.
This on board with Watson, with Dan Rowbottom in front. He's gone to the outside. Daryl De Leon up the inside, into the side of Watson. I think he's going to get that place. Good opportunist driving by Daryl De Leon, but Watson's fighting back on the outside.
Now towards the braking zone, De Leon on the inside, one of the stars of Donington at the beginning of the year, moves himself ahead of Andrew Watson then. But Rob Huff under attack from De Leon. Andrew Watson looking quicker than the pair maybe here. He goes to the outside line as they head down towards Lodge Corner, bearing in mind that Watson and Huff are on the soft as well. They've struggled to make progress. They haven't got anything like the pace that Cook seems to have.
Final warning track limits, final warning track limits. Last lap.
Ingram for 2nd, and now for 3rd, Jake Hill comes up to have a go at Dan Camish. Remember, Jake Hill's next podium will be his 50th, and this could be it.
He's in front and he's closed the door. A great manoeuvre. He's locked up. Has he managed to stop it? He has, but will he be quick out the corner? Has he got any hybrid left, or can Camish fight back?
The Toyota Corolla wins. Josh Cook wins race 2 at Oulton Park, and he wins it by a mighty margin with Tom Ingram set for 2nd place. The gap between them at the end, 8 seconds. Jake Hill 3rd, brilliant last lap to move ahead of Camish. Taylor Smith 5th, Mikey Doble 6th, Colin Turkington 7th from 20th on the grid, mega drive. 8th, Chris Smiley, best of the year. 9th, Dan Rowbottom, and in the end down to 10th was Daryl De Leon.
P5 in the end, mate, P5. It's good to get a P5, but I think we were hoping for a bit more from the start. Got caught up in a lap 1 incident, which put us back. We'll take that.
Oh, that was hard in there. I think, to be honest, with the De Leon one, like, I was in the outside of Rowbottom and he just steamed up. He hit me, but what they'll say is...
Is this the last lap?
No.
Oh, okay.
But what they'll say is there was a gap, but like, he steams in, smashes me and stops.
Obviously Josh was on the soft tyre, we were in the hard tyre. So Josh made progress in that first lap was really impressive. You know, he came through from, I think, 7th or 8th, maybe 9th on the grid. So it's really impressive, made short work of everybody. We got out front, but the race wasn't with him. Our race was with Ash and Camish and Hill behind. So for us it's a case of making sure we're in front of them at all points really. Ash had a good pace again early on, and then I think kind of just before the halfway point we kind of started to gap him. He had some kind of issue with bodywork, and then there was a bit of a gap to Camish, so we could just kind of manage the race after that. Performance on the hard tyre was good as well though, so we're pretty happy all in all. Good points. The first race was fantastic. We led from start to finish. We had a lot of pressure from Ash early on. He had a good pace in the first couple of laps, and then they caused him to come to us a little bit more, and we had good pace from kind of lap 3 or 4 onwards.
Josh, on you go.
6.
And you draw number 6.
You're welcome.
Mikey Doble and Tom Ingram and Jake Hill are waiting in the wing saying, good man, well done.
Yeah, so starting on pole for the last race of the day. See, I've started on pole once before, didn't quite go to plan. I can't predict what's going to happen, but I'm definitely going to make it very difficult for anyone to get by me, so looking forward to it.
I feel like the pace that we showed yesterday has translated into what we're seeing today. Now for race 3, we start in the front row, it's softs again, so I think we have a bit of a chance. I'm pretty happy, as you can imagine. Mikey and I, which is good, it's a nice PMR one too. Like, I feel like we can work together, we can hopefully gap the pack and then see what happens. Like, thing is, we're in the mix, that's all you ever want. And there's strength in numbers, and I think Mikey drove well in that race, so we should have a really good chance here.
Will go out now, race underway, and not a great start by Aaron Taylor-Smith in comparison to Mikey Doble. A good getaway by Jake Hill, who goes to the outside line. Doble will lead, Taylor-Smith is second, and Jake Hill swoops around the outside, but he can't quite clear Dan Camish there, can he, as they come out of the corner down towards Cascades for the first time. It's going to be a Vauxhall 1-2, and Aaron Taylor-Smith leads as Jake Hill squeezes up on the inside, and he goes third.
But a great start for the Evans Halshaw Power Max Racing team with both their cars 1 and 2.
There's a gap on the inside there. Look up the road, which is being seized upon by Tom Ingram to go back ahead of Josh Cook. He can't quite do it at Lodge. They clash mirrors, but that's going to give Tig the inside line down towards Old Hall Corner. So the Toyota on the outside, Hyundai on the inside, into the braking zone. Ingram goes back ahead.
What's happened to? Struggling with balance.
So Andrew Watson, I have a feeling, not for the first time today, has got a false start penalty. Didn't he get one in race 1?
Correct, 5-second penalty for a false start. Keep pushing, mate, keep pushing, the balance will come back.
Seeming to be the team player here, isn't he? Defending his second place and letting Doble clear up front. Replay here, Ronan Pearson in battle with Andrew Watson, and Watson ends up off the road. So just to add to his travails, he's got that penalty, and now he's off the racetrack briefly as well.
Hill using hybrid this lap. Hill using hybrid this lap.
You haven't got a false start. Wrong car. You've got a false start.
Rob Huff has now been given a penalty for a false start. So Rob Huff, like his teammate Andrew Watson, now gets a false start penalty.
I can confirm you do not have a penalty. You do not have a penalty. That was a mistake by race control. 10 laps to go.
Meantime, Jake Hill still can't find a way past this Vauxhall Astra, and it is not for the want of trying. Aaron Taylor-Smith doing a good job of defending the Vauxhalls then from Evans Halshaw Power Max Racing, running 1 and 2, BMW 3, Jake Hill, and then it's 4th Dan Camish and 5th Tom Ingram. We're on lap 7 out of the 15 now.
There, it doesn't seem to be racy at all. It's not coming back either. I thought it'd come back.
Don't worry, wait until you get the car back. Might be an issue.
We've got a pass. We've got Hill in front of Taylor-Smith round the outside. So is this a lap that Hill's using his hybrid? He is. No wonder he's got past.
And there's drama for Ash Sutton. This time it's the front of the car that's got the damage, and the inner of the wheel arch has wrapped itself around the tyre, and he's heading for the pit lane. Start lap 13 now into Old Hall Corner. 3 laps to go, and they'll be the longest 3 laps of Adam Weaver's life. Pressure, pressure, pressure being applied to Mikey Doble by Jake Hill. Look at that, almost pushing the Vauxhall out of Hislop's. And nobody at Power Max Racing dare breathe as over the line goes Mikey Doble. 2 laps to go. Remember, Mikey has never had a British Touring Car Championship win. He's trying to force a tiny, tiny, tiny error out of Mikey Doble, but he can't get up alongside him here. 1 more lap to dislodge Mikey Doble, and Mikey Doble's about to have the longest lap of Oulton Park of his life.
Race wins do not come easy, and they will not come any harder than this one if Mikey Doble pulls it off. If he can defeat Hill on this lap, it will be a richly deserved victory. Hill's going for that outside move again. He's pulled this off before. He's going to brake late, but just ease off the brakes, Mikey.
And he's going to be able to run himself back into the lead and force Jake Hill wide over the curb. Jake's got traction off the corner though. Mikey Doble on the inside line all the way down to his lots. He tries to move across on Jake Hill, who's got his nose in front again. Doble hoping the inside line is enough. They lean on each other coming into the corner. Jake Hill's going to go through. That was a great move, and Mikey Doble's first touring car victory is denied with the checker flag is at the ready. A brilliant race 3, won by Jake Hill. He wins at Oulton Park. Mikey Doble takes second, his best ever finish, and a great result. Taylor Smith third, a 2-3 for Power Max Racing. That is a very, very good result.
Yes!
Cheers, mate. You deserve that.
Yeah, so finished Oulton Park here, and it was just a very, very average weekend. Struggled for pace out of the box. You know, we were sitting outside the top 10 all weekend, and we changed a lot on the car to try and find some answers, but they didn't come. So yeah, we've got some work to do across all the cars, and I think everyone's scratching their head a bit. So yeah, it was a tough weekend, but yeah, we take the learnings out of it, and I think it's a good time for everyone to have a break. Am I looking forward to Croft? Probably not tonight on Sunday night at Oulton Park, but tomorrow morning I probably will be.
These are the weekends that, in the depths of the winter, when you're stressed out of your brain, working on bits to get out in the car, all the commercial side of it, everything we do off track, these are the weekends that keep you going. This is what all that hard work is for, and to see it pay off the way it has is incredible. I think we're sat 7th in the championship, back on the outright podium, 2 independent wins. It has been a dream come true this weekend. It's just such a rewarding feeling to actually be in the mix. We're racing against the best manufacturers, the best cars, teams, everything. So yeah, to have a weekend like this is truly special.
Yeah, so race 3, Oulton Park, what a race. It's the race it's the result that we all deserve, I think, as a team. I had a gut feeling coming into this week that we was gonna have a podium, that we were in for a good result, because it's so long overdue. We've had some great results so far this year, and we've been consistent. We're now the only 2 drivers in the field to have scored points in every single race, and that's just credit to the season we've had so far. So yeah, race 3, obviously we set ourselves up lovely in race 2 with a P5 and a P6 for me. And yeah, to finish the day with Jack Sears Trophy honours, the independent win, and an overall 2nd place, couldn't be happier. The excitement wasn't really oozing from me inside the car, I must admit, until maybe the flag dropped. But yeah, I mean, the stress of seeing that laser beamer catching me up there and getting bigger and bigger in my mirrors every lap was stressful at the time. But I just had to keep telling myself that I'll do everything I can to win. If he's quicker and he passes me, I don't want to take myself out of the race, and it's still going to be a mega result. So yeah, it was a lap short today, but hopefully next time we'll bring it back one better.
A bit of a mad weekend, if I'm honest, but a really good weekend. We've come out the back of it with a big amount of points. Some would refer to that as pointsy. Great word, that. So it's been strong. It's been really strong. The cars felt alive. The cars felt good on a soft. The cars felt good on a hard tyre. It's felt good in quali sim, it's felt good in race sim. Everything we've done has been great this weekend. So yeah, I really couldn't ask for any more. It's been fantastic, and yeah, Team Bristol Street Motors have given me one hell of a car, and it's been a pleasure to drive. It really has. So we've got a little bit of downtime now before we go racing again at Croft in the summer break. So we've got Festival of Speed, I've got British Grand Prix, we've got all sorts of stuff going on. So next time we'll be out, will be Croft, a circuit I do really enjoy. So we'll see you all there.
Something wrong, maybe. Falling back. Okay, mate, box it if you can't drive it. I'm sorry. Something catastrophic wrong. Oh, Moffat, stop.
Okay, mate, park it safe.
I think generally you've got to be a little bit off your rocker to do what we do.
is going to be seething about that